Hello, it's Anasika here and welcome to the second month of the Just Cards video hop. This time it's all about the rainbows. So I decided to use a stamp set from Simon Says Stamp that is called Best Ever. It has this really pretty rainbow and rainbow heart, and I thought that it would match the theme perfectly. And I'm basically stamping the shapes onto my Copic friendly paper, and I'm using my Copic markers to color. I've used quite a lot of colors, but I will have all these colors listed below, so in case you want to know exactly what color combos are used, I have them all ready down below. There's no difficult coloring, just basic coloring really, and I just wanted to make sure that I got the most perfect rainbow possible. And when I finished coloring the rainbow, I colored the heart using the exact same colors. It's the same thing really. Quite simple coloring, so I'll stop blabbering for a little bit and I'll put some music on while I'm coloring. And that finishes up the coloring part, and then my plan was to have these shapes die cut, and I'm going to be using a circle die for the rainbow and a hexagon die for the heart, and both of these dies are from MFT and they both have a stitched outline. Now I'm just choosing the sentiment I want, and I thought this will work absolutely perfectly with the rainbow and rainbow theme. So why not have a sentiment that says color if your card is all about colors? So I'm just making sure that my sentiment fits perfectly on that die cut piece, and I'm using black ink from My Favorite Things. And I'm double stamping it to get a really crisp black sentiment on there. And then for the rainbow one, I am stamping this onto another white cardstock, and after stamping I will be die cutting using these Fishtail sentiments strips from MFT, and I'll be adding that to below the rainbow. And the reason why I'm doing this banner is because there is a tiny bit of purple dot outside the rainbow. So by putting this on another piece of paper, I can hide that little mistake. And I'm just adding foam tape to that banner to make it stand out a bit more. Gives a bit more dimension and interest to the card, really. Sorry for my head getting in the way. Just had to make sure that I was getting this as straight as possible. Now I'm choosing papers to use as backings for the die cuts, and I decided to use these pattern papers from Doodlebug because they're quite colourful, and I really like these subtle patterns because they give quite a lot to the background without taking anything away from the rainbows themselves. And I'm just gonna be using my Big Shot machine and die cutting these shapes out. And when I've done die cutting these two, I'll be sticking the white ones or the colored images using foam tape, because since this card is quite simple, or these cards, sorry, are simple, I just really want to add a lot of dimension to make sure that this is not just a blank, well, not blank, but a flat card, really. Because rainbows are fun and everyone should have rainbows on foam, right? If that makes sense to anyone. So I'm just sticking these to the patterned papers and just centering them as I can. I'm not being too fussy about it, just making sure that it's not all wonky. And then I've already pre-cut my card base using a Nina Solar White cardstock 110 weight, and now I'm just adding another layer of foam tape behind that pattern paper, and I will be placing these shapes on the top of the card, really, not really centering it, but keeping it well, in the upper levels, so to speak. When I finished adding these to the card bases, I saw that the rainbows needed a bit more oomph, in my opinion, and that means glitter or anything sparkly. So I grabbed my Spectrum Noir clear sparkle pen and added a generous amount to that rainbow and the rainbow heart, because I mean, rainbows are fabulous, colourful, and of course sparkly. Well, at least in my world they are sparkly. Well, in my world I would use glitter on anything. And then after I've added that little bit of glitter, I wanted more sparkliness, so I reached for my Lucy's Cards Rainbow Gems, and I just put a selection of those gems on the table and put them on, I'll place them on the cards using Ranger Multimedia Matte and my Jewel Picker tool to put these in their right spot on the card. I'm not trying to create a pattern of sorts, really, just trying to add these here and there quite randomly. I'm just making sure that I use all the colours, meaning that I have the gems in all the colours of the rainbow, same as the rainbow, because I want to keep with the rainbow theme all the way through. And what I like about these these gem mixes really, is that you get all different shapes and sizes. So they're not all large or all tiny or anything like that. You can really mix and match and just figure out what you like best. And that is really the cards finished. I just really like how those little gems add so much to the cards, because they are really simple but they are quite colourful, so I want to make sure that everything was neat. So here are some still pictures for you to have a look at, and thanks so much for watching. See you later.